Hi, this is Andy from MNMoto. Today we're talking about crank seals. Hey everybody, it's Andy here with MNMoto. I'm here today to talk a little bit about crank seals on my 1973 Arctic Cat Lynx with a Kawasaki 292 engine. So you've probably seen my last couple videos and you could tell that whenever you let off the throttle, it would bog down really bad. Went on the Arctic Cat vintage Arctic Cat forum online, talked to some guys about tuning, and they said this sled is known for bad crank seals. So I did a little bit of research, and the way to test for that is to get it to idle however you can. So I revved up to where I got to consistent idle and started spraying starter fluid around the different areas of the motor to see if it was sucking any air from anywhere besides the carburetor. And when you put the hose from the starter fluid behind the clutch, it would just rev out. And I wish I would have had some footage of that. I was going to reproduce that, but it also was spitting oil out of the crank seals, which means that it had been sucking air pretty hard, and oil from the premix has been collecting down in the bottom of the crank. And if you run it that way, it's either going to run too lean and burn up your piston, or too much oil can get the crank and it can actually vapor lock on oil like it would if it got full of water. Either way, I really want my kids to ride this and have it be dependable so that we can start it, run it, and I don't have to worry about dying on them far away from me out on the lake or on a trail. And I want to get another trail sled to follow with one kid while the other kid rides it. Because it is really fun. As you can tell, they enjoyed it a lot from my last video. Nevertheless, I'm going to try to do my best to document replacing the crank seals for you guys. I didn't see a lot of videos on that for this particular sled. I'm going to talk about the tools that I use along the way, some of which are specialty tools to remove the clutch, remove the flywheel. There's also right and wrong ways of doing this. I'm doing it the wrong way. The right way would be to take the motor out, tear it down, replace all the gaskets and seals. There's a kit that you can get to do that, just like you would the carburetor, and that would be the correct way to do it. I'm working on a timeline of about 2 days because the snow is melting rapidly here. We're gonna have no snow and we're not gonna be able to get out on the ice probably after this weekend. So I'm going to try to just replace the seals without taking apart the case, so that I can have the kids ride it one more time before I put it away. I also have that full kit coming in case I do want to totally rebuild it and restore the sled before next year. But right now I'm just going to try to replace the crank seals the wrong way to show you guys step by step in case you're in a situation where you just want to get that job done quickly and go from there. And by no means I'm not a mechanic at all. I sit behind a desk all day. I'm just posting this for informational and entertainment purposes, and hopefully it'll help somebody down the road. If you do like this kind of thing, please like, subscribe, make comments, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what I'm doing right, let me know if this helps or if it doesn't help, and you guys can follow along as we go. So you're probably wondering what crank seals are. The crank is what goes through it goes through the middle of the motor. One side's got the flywheel on it, the other side has a clutch on it. So you pull the flywheel with the pull start to start the motor, the clutch spins on the other side and clamps down on the belt to drive the track. The primary clutch is on the motor side, the secondary clutch is on the gear side that turns the track. But where the shaft comes, the crankshaft comes out of the motor on both sides to connect to the flywheel and connect to the clutch. There's a seal on both sides. It's called an oil seal or a crankshaft seal, crank seal. There's a lot of different names for it. And those rubber seals is what keeps usually the oil, or in this case, the premix or whatever, from coming out of the engine, out of those spots. So it's a rubber gasket that goes into the case of the motor and then has a seal that goes around that shaft. And like I said, normally you'd break the motor down, split the case, check the crank, check the piston, check the bearings on the crankshaft that keep it spinning, replace and repair anything as needed. But we're not doing a total teardown. We're just going to replace those seals that are leaking so that we can get it to idle and drive normally. And you're probably also asking, what is the wrong way? If the right way is to tear them down and rebuild them. The wrong way is you take off the recoil and the flywheel on one side, take off the clutch on the other side, and then drill holes in the bearings so that you can get a screwdriver in there, pry those old ones out, grease up the new ones, and just push them back in. So you're basically ripping out the old ones, forcing in the new ones, hope that you're not getting any damage done to the case or the bearings that would leave any debris in there. Yeah, probably not the best way to go, but that's the way I'm going to do it in this video for you guys. I'm taking you all along for the ride, so let's get started. All right, the first thing we're going to do is remove the recoil. So you need a 7/16 wrench and a straight screwdriver. And comment if you know what this button is for, because it is cut off. It looks like it has a lamp cord on it, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't factory, but it sure looks factory up here. But it's not connected to anything, and I don't know. I would think a primer, but it doesn't look like the primer has ever been connected on here. There's an accessory primer option, which I might install later. It doesn't close, nothing on the hood closes. It's something you could reach up and push. So I don't know if they had some kind of horn or something, some auxiliary light, but it's a push button like a horn. I don't know. So let me know if you have any ideas of what that could be. All right, freed the recoil from there. And just so I don't lose the screw, because I know how I am, I lose everything. I'm just going to put that on there loosely. Next tool, 1/2 inch. All right, recoil. This was rebuilt in the 90s. I remember because it was a pain for the guy who did it for me. Another tech tip, if you ever get to a point where your recoil breaks and you're stuck and you don't have electric start, there's these notches on the flywheel. And you could take a rope with a knot in it, stick it in there, wind it around and pull up. And that'll turn over your motor. So step 1 was take off the recoil. Step 2 will be take off the flywheel. You can see down here all the oil is coming out, so this probably both sides crank seals are bad. I got both. So I added a short 3/8 extension on the same 1/2 inch socket. So let's take this. Yeah, that worked. Okay, this was the recoil pulley. It was held on by 3 bolts. I said they were 1/2 inch, but they're actually 13 millimeter. So there's 3 13 millimeter bolts holding this recoil pulley in. And the bolts from this recoil pulley is what we're gonna need to put into the flywheel to remove the flywheel. And in order to do that, we're first gonna have to take off this outside case. And this is the
It's called a waterproof plate in the diagram, but the instructions in the service manual say there's 6 bolts securing the spiral case to the fan cowl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 bolts holding that on. So I'm going to do that next. It's very oily under there from those leaky seals. There we go. Removed. Pretty sure this seal was leaking too. Look inside of there. Okay, well, the service manual calls for a certain flywheel puller. I looked up that flywheel puller, and that flywheel puller is very expensive. It's a couple $100. So went on the forums and was recommended to pick up a harmonic balancer puller from the Fleet Farm store, and this was $13. 22 millimeters will work. They say another way to do this is to shove a bunch of rope up in there and put the piston up, and then it'll stop, and then you can do it. But I don't know if I want to do that either. I'm like shaking even thinking about this because this does not sound right, but that's what we do. Oh wow, yeah, it's running a little off, huh? Okay, run that down. Sounds like an awful idea, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, I put the piston all the way down. I'm taking this emergency recoil rope, shoving it in there. Filling the cylinder up with a rope. Hope to God this thing gets stuck and comes out. Sounds like a dumb idea. But these old farmers told me to do this, so let's try her out. What do you know? Freaking old dudes know what they're talking about. Yeah, that's definitely how that comes off of there. Can't believe that worked. I thought that was dumb, but it worked. Okay, so at this point, I had to stop and run to the hardware store to get a third bolt for the puller. It comes with various different bolts and pairs, and I needed a third one. I thought I'd be using the 3 from the Flywheel, but the ones that came on the motor weren't long enough, so I had to get a third one to match what's in the kit. It was an M8-1.25 by 80 bolt. And I'm going to let you know that so that if you're getting the same puller, you know to pick up that third bolt as well.
Oh, there it went. Woo. Well, if there's any doubt, the puller works. And for those of you that were curious, this is what the inside of the flywheel looks like. There's magnets in there, and you got to set it down, magnets up on a safe surface, so be careful about that. There's your stator, and you can see here that there's adjustments here to be able to put it into time, and the tip that I got was to mark where your screws are on both sides, so you can get it back to however time it was in before. All right, now that I got the flywheel off, next step is to remove this magneto. Here are your points that you can clean. Thing's really clean inside though, besides all the oil everywhere from the crank seals. The magneto wires go through the case, so you're gonna have to kind of help them through, I think. From behind, oh, the front too, dang it. That comes from the starter. Ooh, oily. There's a thing holding this where I can get it off. I'm almost to that seal. I could see it from here. One of the wires is busted off of this, which makes me really curious what that wire's for. It's right here. What I'm doing now is I'm giving myself a little bit more room to. It says in the manual, if you remove the spark plug cap, the plug wire is attached to this and it'll come off. I have an electric start, so it goes from the starter to this. There's no way. So I pull as much wire as I can. I'm taking the little screws off that hold the magneto wires on, so I can give myself just a little bit more room so I can pull it off the shaft to get to that. There. I have a broken wire I gotta fix, but this is my seal. Moment of truth. Success. They don't look that bad. All right, reassembly. All right, so that's one side. I will flip it around and start working on the other side. Penetrating oil on the muffler, which is going to be great. That'll burn off. It's all right. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good sound. Pretty expensive piece of equipment here. Okay, I think I'd be getting down to the crankshaft here pretty soon. So this clutch puller is pushing on the crank, pulling on the clutch. Why did it keep going? Okay, because it pulled the clutch off. Here you go. She's rusty in there. Hoping I can get this off without taking this muffler off again. If I take the puller all the way out now. There's my clutch. All right, point no return again. Bearing, sure. I think this used to be a pretty decent drill bit. Not so much anymore. Not good. I wouldn't think they'd be very good. Go. Zoom her in here. And a little hole there. Take my drywall screw, and even it has a little drywall on it. Ooh, that came out pretty quick. Oh good, it just took the ring off the outside and didn't take the gasket out at all. That's not good either. She was junk anyway. Oh, here you go. Look at that. This is what they looked like in pictures I saw online too. See how this all eaten away? Ouch. That was sharp. Don't run your finger on the inside of that. That's really super sharp in there. Ouch. I'm fine, I'm not bleeding. I think the most interesting part is that the other side looked really good. I mean, it looked fine. It didn't have nearly as much oil in it. Looked fine. These are 3000-052, but any kind of bearing will work as long as they are 30 by 50 by 8 millimeter. This is what they look like now. They're not metal on the outside anymore. They're plastic, but they have a gasket inside, a spring inside of that. I'm going to grease this up quick. Again, I'm using white lithium grease. Just like the other side, I put white lithium grease on there so that it doesn't stick and spin on the cam when it fires back up. This is a piece of 1.5-inch pipe. I'm using to press it in. I'm just going around in a circle and pressing it. Seated. You feel it seat. This one's seated in a little bit further than the other one. I probably should have pushed on that one too, but it probably tightened up when I tightened everything up. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I guess the bottom line is I got it on without taking the muffler off. It wasn't pretty, but this is a 19 millimeter and a torque wrench. Okay, we want to get this down to 65 pounds. Right about here. And then after you run it, you're supposed to do it again. So it's a 19 millimeter bolt. 65 pounds of torque. And it'll see it's pressing the clutch onto the shaft, so it seems like it's just never getting tight. Pull the rib muscle. That noise isn't the torque wrench, that noise is the clutch sliding onto the shaft. I probably should have marked this before I did it too. Now that's the torque wrench. We'll try that. How's that sound? Sounded horrible, but yep. It's me making noise. That was me backing the cylinder down a little bit so I get this out. Little go-go juice. It's idling. Now I just gotta get I shouldn't have ran it without the belt in it. That's a no-no. Those clutches without the belt, and that's a bad idea, but anyway, my bad. I got it running. It's idle, trying to bog out, but that's just because the idle screw's not set yet. So if I held it a little bit, it's perfect. So I'm just gonna put the belt back on, run it with the track, it idle down. You hear that? That was not good. That was a kaboom clutch. She was stuck closed from running it the way I ran it without the belt in it. I had to force it open with the belt, and then she went boom. Scared me. Hope I didn't wreck it. Sure made a boom sound though. Scary. I think we're good. These are not stock bolts. These look like something old man took out of the 1/4-inch drawer. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm sure there's a couple of pieces of him in here.
Well, we got the crank seals in, and we are out at Lake Steiger in Victoria, Minnesota, and we are going to test on it. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, my cameraman and my other little buddy, we're gonna get this thing working. It was 25 degrees when we woke up. It's already 36. It's gonna melt fast. In about an hour, it went up over 10 degrees. It's supposed to be 60 today. So after today, we're gonna winterize and we're gonna store it for next year. Just in time.
So prime, bolt, choke / prime. There's supposed to be a prime button here, but we don't have it hooked. Look at that!
Yeah! We did it! Officially done it.
Where's that other helmet? Hold on to that. Can you go get that other helmet out of it?
Have to run. And he's off into the ice. More running cameras. Up they're going. Goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye. I didn't hear
I don't know by itself. Running is running by itself. Here we go. What? Okay, one more lap. Okay, your turn. He likes to give her the beans, doesn't he? Just let it stop.
Pretty cool, huh?
What?
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. I think
What do you guys think?
I did big. I think we're just
Yeah,
gonna bomb
exactly.
All right, here we go.
This is gonna be one of the most important history
The most
moments.
Minnesota moto moment, speed run on a 1973 Arctic Cat with a 292 Kawasaki. You ready?
Yeah, I guess everyone is.
Oh, we're gonna see how fast we can go with it. Oh, that's
Gonna be the best,
it's
guys.
gonna be fast. Oh, it's going fast. That was so fast. I think that's even faster.
I believe you. Oh, there he went.
I'll be right back. I did it!
I said it down for you.
Yay for me.
We did it! We got it working. We got it in. Your thumb up. It deleted 1 second video.
All right, well, Mini Mirror is recording the loading, so I might not have got it all, but that was a successful mission. You guys ready for treats?
Yeah!
Yay!
Like and subscribe
And comment.
and comment on this video to see what you thought happened was good through this entire pretty much series. Like, comment, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah.